Assad's fall is inevitable. And so as governments make decisions about where they stand on this issue and what further steps need to be taken with regards to the brutality of the Assad regime, it's important to calculate into your considerations the fact that he will go. The regime has lost control of the country and will eventually fall.
So now all eyes are on the United Nations. Arab League delegates are in New York to try and convince the Security Council to support its peace plan. But as Kristen Saloomey reports, not everybody is on board.
The Secretary General of the Arab League, Nabil al-Arabi, looking for the United Nations stamp of approval for his organization's peace plan for Syria. He and Qatari Prime Minister Hamad bin Jassim Al Thani have been meeting Security Council diplomats ahead of a high-level meeting later on Tuesday. The Arab League plan before the Council urges President Bashar al-Assad to delegate power to his deputy. It calls for the formation of a national unity government within 2 months and elections to follow 3 months later for a body which would draft a new constitution to be put to a referendum. The Arabs and their Western supporters have to convince China and Russia. Both countries vetoed a European-drafted resolution on Syria in October and insist they will not back a plan that calls for Assad to go. A leader for the Syrian National Council is just as adamant. They will not negotiate with the president they hold responsible for so much bloodshed.
We are willing to sit and start negotiating under the correct condition. But the first condition that will help us provide such environment is for President Assad to step down.
France, the United Kingdom, and Portugal are all sending their foreign ministers to New York for Tuesday's Security Council meeting on Syria. The U.S. Secretary of State will also attend. Clearly, the West is putting all of its diplomatic pressure behind this resolution and squarely on the shoulders of Russia and China.
We have seen the consequences of neglect and inaction by this council over the course of the last 10 months, not because the majority of the council isn't eager to act. It has been, but there have been a couple of very powerful members who have not been willing to see that action take place.
The West must also convince skeptics that they do not plan to intervene militarily in Syria, the way NATO did in Libya.
And this is clearly what they fear in this case, that whatever the resolution says, that even if it's declaratory calling for the regime to step down, that it will be used in some way by the West as a platform for military intervention down the line.
The entire council will hear from the Arab League in a formal meeting on Tuesday, but diplomats predict it will take several more days to reach an agreement. Kristen Saloomey, Al Jazeera, the United Nations.